Today our topic is typecasting in Java. Here, before going to enter this, first we'll learn about what is meant by casting. Okay, so casting means converting converting one data type to another data type. Casting means converting from one data type to another data. Suppose you have int x is equal to 5. Suppose you are converting into long y is equal to x. Now see, this is long data type. This is int data type. You are converting it here, right? From int to you are converting into the long. That is called casting. Okay, casting means conversion of one data type to another data type. Here in Java, how many types of castings are there? Types of casting. See, Java supports two types of castings. Java supports how many types of casting? Two types of castings. Okay, first one is primitive data type casting. Primitive data type casting. Second one is reference type casting. Reference type casting. Okay, primitive data type casting means converting of one primitive data type to another primitive data type. Here reference type of casting means it is supports object to another object. Okay, if you are, see, now we are doing right parent class reference, we are assigning the new child class object. That is called reference type of casting here. Okay, now first we'll understand this what is meant by data type casting, then we'll come to the reference type casting. Now we'll see here Java supports two types of casting. First one, data type casting. Second one is reference type casting. Data type casting and reference type casting. Now, first one is data type casting. Okay, in data type casting, there are again three types of casting. First one is implicit casting. Implicit casting or widening. Implicit casting or widening. Second one is explicit casting. Explicit casting. This is called narrowing. This is called narrowing. Now the third one is, if you don't find it anywhere, max, the third one is Boolean casting. Why I am keeping Boolean casting, I will explain. Now first one is implicit casting. Okay, before going to that, we will write a flow. See, flow of the casting. See, now observe what is the smallest data type? Byte. Correct. Next, short. Next, int. Next, long. Okay, see, this is the ascending order of okay, integer data types. Okay, if you see here, then float and double. Okay, now see here from 1 byte to we are moving to the 8 bytes of memory. From 1 byte to 8 bytes of memory. Okay, now see, suppose you take one example. Now consider this here. This is a one small, okay, tub. This is a little bit bigger than this. Consider like this. Okay, now suppose, see, if you have a in this some water is there. If you wanted to pour into this, anything you will get wasted here.
No.
Are you using any medium to transfer here? Simply you are just pouring. The same way, whenever you are assigning, suppose byte b is equal to 10. Now you are assigning it to short. Short s is equal to b. You are doing anything here. You are converting anything. So here implicitly the byte is converting to the short, because why? Short is bigger data type than the byte. So there is no explicit. We don't need to tell anything to the compiler. Compiler will understand what you are doing. You are throwing a water from a small bucket to the big bucket. Then there is no need of there is any wastage will not occur here. Correct? Suppose if bucket is here full, if you transfer to here, the wastage will happen or not?
Yes, happen.
Yeah, in the same way. Okay, here you are not keeping anything explicitly, so the compiler is doing for you. It is converting byte to short without your information. Implicitly it is converting. Okay, that's why we are calling it as a implicit casting. Why we are calling as a widening? What is mean by widening? Suppose I'm widening means if you have in your home there is a small place. Okay, so if you are cleaning everything and you are increasing your space, then what you are doing? You are doing here widening. Now see, this is 10. So suppose you are converting from byte to short. Byte is 1 byte of memory. You are converting to the short, which is 2 bytes. Here the size is increasing or not? That's
Yes,
why
yes.
we are calling it as
Yes.
a widening. See, for widening, for the widening casting, there is no need of anything we have to declare. Just apply. If you are declaring any variable byte, so only have to apply it to the larger type. Suppose it is not allowed in implicit casting. Short. Suppose if you have a byte b is equal to some 10. Sorry, short is b is equal to some 10. Okay, now byte x is equal to s, it will throw error. Why it will throw error? Because now consider here, you have here one small tub, one big tub. Okay, now here water is there. Okay, now if you are pouring into this, it will be waste, right? Some water it will flow out. Suppose, okay, water is free. Now let understood, in this you have a petrol. Will you throw it into everything into this? Will you do this? No, right?
No, no.
No, because some wastage will be happen. In the same way, compiler will also understand, radiate, if you are converting a bigger data type to the smaller data type. It is not possible in the implicit casting. It will think that, compiler will think that, suppose if you are doing a start s is equal to byte b, it is thinking that by mistake you kept it here, so it will throw error, compile time error. Okay, now
Yes.
here see, observe what is implicit casting or narrow widening means. A data type of lower size, a data type of lower size means occupying less memory. Occupying less memory is assigned to a data type of higher size, to a data type of higher size. This is done by this is done by this is done implicitly. Now here what is happening? Lower size is widened to higher size, to higher size. Okay, we can call it also as automatic type conversion. Now let me do some examples on this. Okay, let me try. Now see here. Now suppose you are taken one example. Suppose okay, int x is equal to some 986. Okay, now if you want to convert this int data type to the long data type, because int is a 4 bytes of memory, long is 8 bytes of memory. Long L is equal to x. So here it is, what is happening? Implicit casting is happening. Now see, now you are understood here. You are converting one data type of a smaller size data type to the bigger size data type, which is happening implicitly. It is automatically getting converted. Okay, you are not specifying anything. You are just assigning like a value. Okay, now see, suppose if you try here, there is a int x is equal to 9, right? Now short s is equal to x. See, it is throwing an error. See, can't convert from int to short, because in implicit casting it is only allowed from lower size to higher size, not from higher size to lower size. Okay, here see it is throwing compile time error. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now this is the implicit casting. Now we'll go to the explicit casting. Okay, what is meant by explicit casting? It is also called narrowing. Okay, now see, observe. Okay, the same example whatever we are taking now. So you'd say we have a petrol in this is okay, this is a small term. What you want to do, you are converting. Okay, I will come as a like a consider as me as a compiler. Okay, I will come and I'll throw error, but what will you tell? I know by intentionally I'm pouring this from to here. So from widening to, see, from large capacity to you are transferring to the small size capacity. So what you are doing, here narrowing with intentionally. So that intentionally, however you are explaining to me, sir, I am doing it with intentionally and I know it will fill and it will get wastage, but I'm okay with that. So the same way you have to tell to the compiler, I know I'm converting this into data type to the short data type with intentionally. I know it. Don't throw compiler. Whatever you can do it. Okay. Now, how to tell to the compiler that we are doing intentionally? Okay. See now here, a data type of higher size, a data type of higher size can't be assigned to a data type of lower size. So we are not able to allow to write that. Okay, so it will not done implicitly by JVM and requires explicit casting and requires explicit casting. What is mean by explicit casting means converting a higher data type to lower data type. Okay, how to do that? Now see, you have to tell to the compiler, okay, or to the JVM. See, where let's consider here. Now you have here, okay, some int x is equal to 10. Okay, now you want to convert it to the short variable. Okay, how to do that? Now short s is equal to, okay, now you have to provide this reference and tell to the compiler you are doing by intentionally by providing which data type you have to convert. Suppose see here int x is equal to 10. Now if you are converting to the byte b is equal to reference, which data type you want to convert, byte. Okay, here what is the disadvantage of narrowing means? Disadvantage, main disadvantage is loss of data. Loss of data. Sir, why you are losing the data? Now it is simply, I'll tell you, take the same example of 2 here. Okay, now suppose if in this, if you have the anything liquid up to this level, if you pour here, it will waste anything here?
No.
No, correct? Now suppose if the liquid is to this level,
Will lose.
we will lose, right? Yes, we will lose the whatever we are losing the liquid here. The same way we will lose the data. Now, okay, we'll see it practically. Now see, consider here. For this, we are getting a compile time error. Okay, how to convert? Now we already learned. Short s is equal to reference. Okay, we have to tell to the compiler which data type it has to convert. Short. Now see, our error is gone. Now let me print here. System.out.println output of implicit casting. Okay, here I'll print here output of explicit casting. Okay, now see here. Now both are 986, 986. Okay, so why 986, 986? Both are, there is no change because what is the range of short variable? Now see, if I keep it 986543. Now let me see. Okay, now see, output of explicit casting only 3503, but our variable is 986543. See, output of implicit casting is same as output like original. Okay, but here see explicit casting we are losing the data. Correct?
Yes.
So if you are performing this explicit casting in some applications, okay, where have the variable is more than the size of short, Okay, that time you will lose the data, you will get an error in somewhere. If you are using this, you will get a wrong values. So always beware of using the explicit casting whenever it is required. That time only you have to do the explicit casting. Okay, I think now you understood what is the difference between the implicit casting and explicit casting.
Yes.
Okay, now here, now see, observe what is the flow. You have to understand the flow. Now see, first byte to short, short to int, int to long, long to float, float to double. Okay, if you are moving this side, this what type of casting it is? Implicit casting.
Winding.
Okay. Yeah, it is also called as widening. Okay, if you are moving, okay, if you are moving to this side, then which type of casting it is? Explicit casting, which is narrowing. Okay, now see how many primitive data types we have. We have 8 types of primitive data types. Okay, but everything you can convert. See, from long to double you can convert, from double to long you can convert, into to byte, byte to short, everything you can convert. Even the char to int it is possible to convert. Okay, but now see here. Okay, you boolean is there. Boolean is also primitive data type. Is it possible to convert boolean data type to any other data type?
No, sir. Because Boolean is one bit only.
Yeah, yeah, see, now here, that's why I just separately mentioned boolean casting. You have to mention, if anyone is, you are explaining, right, you have to explain completely about the casting. A boolean value can't be assigned to, can't be assigned to any other data type except boolean. So we say boolean is incompatible for conversion. Okay, now see here. Now suppose here, see, now let me take an example. Suppose you have int x is equal to 98. Okay, int x is equal to 98. Suppose see char ch is equal to x. See, char ch is equal to x, it is not getting casted to the char. Why? Because int is how many dates of data? 4 bytes. Character is 2 bytes of data. So I am making it explicitly. Now whenever I am printing system dot out dot println ch, can anyone guess what is the output? Now see, it is converted to the b. Why it is b? Because here whenever you're converting integer to the character, okay, it will convert to the character according to the ASCII value. Okay, what is mean by ASCII value? Means See here, ASCII tables are there. Now see here, each and every value is specified with one ASCII value. Suppose A is 65. Okay, now we are converting 98. See, 98 is B. Okay, suppose if anyone asks you to print a pattern, if anyone asks you to print a pattern A B C A B C D A B C D E, okay, here okay, if you want to do the pattern printing like this, okay, you have to convert your I value to the character. Okay, now in this type of situations we are using this char conversion. So what will happen when you convert a integer to the character? It will print the character of according to the ASCII value. Okay, remember this is most important. Now here, now we are done with the data type casting. Data type casting means converting one primitive data type to the another primitive data type by two ways: by converting from larger size to smaller size, or from smaller size to larger size. From smaller size to larger size means widening, from larger size to smaller size means narrowing. Okay, and in primitive data type we also have the boolean, but for the boolean value we can't assign to any other data except for the boolean. So we will say that boolean is incompatible for the conversion. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now see reference type of casting. Reference type of casting. Now see here, what is meant by reference type of casting means when you are creating an object of one class and assigning it to the another class reference. Okay, now see here, suppose in the first point, okay, when you are creating, when you are creating a child class object and assigning to a parent class reference, parent class reference, when you are creating a child class object and assigning to the parent class reference, this will be done by implicitly. This will done by implicitly. This is known as upcasting. This is known as upcasting. Sir, why we will call it as upcasting? Okay, now see here, now suppose how the hierarchy will be available. Suppose if you are inheriting, suppose here see what will happen. Here the parent class, then from here child class, again child, like this it will be available, right? So whenever you are creating a child class object and assigning to the parent class reference, okay, you are doing it for to the upside, correct? In the hierarchy you are converting your child class object to the parent class reference, you are going to the upper side, that's why we'll call it as upcasting. Clear?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Here one more rule is there. If you want to perform an upcasting, if you want to perform a reference casting, two classes must have easier relationship. Is a relationship. Is a relationship means both classes has to be inheritance. Otherwise, it is not possible. Okay. Now see here, first we'll understand what is it. Okay, now suppose here we have a our class test class. Okay, let it be fine. I will take one parent class and one child class only. Now see here, I'm taking a class. First one is parent class. Okay, simply I'm taking a class here. Another class, control N. Here child class. Okay, now I'm extends here parent class. Okay, now see here, just I'm writing here one main method. Okay, now here I'm creating which class object? Child class object. Okay, and I'm assigning it to the parent class reference, parent B. Are you doing anything here extra to convert from child class to the parent class object? Are you doing any extra work here? It is working implicitly, right? And it is casting to the upper side, upcasting. So this is called upcasting. Okay, when you are assigning a parent class reference to the child class object. Okay, now see here, one more point will come here. Java doesn't support assigning. Java doesn't support assigning a super class. I mean super class means parent class object. Assigning a parent class object to a subclass. I mean to a child class implicitly. Explicitly we can do, but implicitly it will not support. Okay. So if you want to do it, which type of casting we need? If you want to do assign a parent class object to a child class, if you still want to do, we need explicit casting. We need explicit casting. Okay, this is known as downcasting. Here why it is downcasting, I think you are all already aware, because we are assigning here parent class reference, parent class object to the child class. We are converting from parent to child. Okay, now here see, it is going to the downwards. The casting is running from the upper side to downside. That's why it is called as downcasting. Okay, now see here, now we have here it is like that. But here sir, you are saying what is meant by like parent. Okay, child c is equal to new parent. See, as I said, right, like the same way, however, you are doing it for assigning the creating a child class object and assigning to the parent class reference, implicitly it is happening. But see, if you are creating a parent class object and assigning to the child class reference, now see here, it is throwing an error. Implicitly it is not happening. Error. Okay, now see, sir, however we did, how we did before explicit casting, we are taking one data type child c is equal to, now we are creating here one parent class. Now parent. Okay, so we are telling to the compiler which data type we have to need. Child. Okay, Now see, is there any error here? We are doing explicitly, but here we will get max runtime error. See, runtime error. Okay, you are doing everything correctly. You are creating a parent class object and you are converting it to the child class. Okay, and you are assigning to the child class reference, but it will throw you runtime error. Throw you runtime error. Okay, so what you have to do? Okay, first create one parent class object. Parent p is equal to new parent. Okay, now see here. Now child c is equal to child p1. Now let's run. Okay, now see here you have to assign, here you have to do the casting for this type. When you are creating a parent class and assigning it to the child class reference, sorry, when you're creating a child class object and you are converting it to the parent class reference. Now see here. Okay, system.out.println c casting dot child. Okay, suppose system.out.println here p. Now see, now here you are also creating a child class object, so it is printing the same. Okay, here also it is child class, but what is the difference are here? What is the difference? Suppose let's consider here void m1 method is there. Void m1 method is there. System.out.println child class method. Okay, now in the parent class you have one method void m2. Okay, here system.out.println parent class method. Now observe here this m2 method, whatever here it is there, we are overriding in a child class. Okay, overridden parent class method. Now see why we need it, sir. Sir, why this everything we need here? Why need to do this? Now consider with the parent class reference, you can call p2 dot m2, p dot m1 method are you able to call here. When you are performing inheritance, are you able to call p dot m1 method? Guys, are you able to call when you are assigning a child class object to the parent class reference? Are you able to call m1 method? No, you are not allowed to call. You are not allowed to call child class methods with parent class reference. So in this case it is required to to cast a parent class reference object to a child class reference. Now see here c dot m1, next c dot m2. Now you are able to call both the methods by using the child class reference. Now
Yes,
see,
yes.
overridden parent class method, overridden parent class method. Here M2 logic is getting executed. Here also it is getting executed. This is the why we need a casting from child class to the from parent class referent to the child class. Okay, is it clear? If you do this type of things, child c is equal to new parent, it will throw error. Suppose child c is equal to new parent, it will throw error. And one more error we are observed, which first you are creating complete parent class object. Parent p is equal to new parent. Okay, then you are converting like a data type casting. Child c is equal to, okay, here you are converting child. Okay, here you are providing the reference, it will throw runtime error. Okay, first if you want to do the downcasting, first you have to perform the upcasting, then only you can do the downcasting. Okay, clear for everyone?
So please decrease the font size, sir. We will take screenshot.
I will provide you code, right?
But whole whole problem we will take, sir, at a time this one. Thank you.
Now here we have to write a rule first. What is the rule here? See, in downcasting, in downcasting you need to do, first, you need to do the upcasting first. You need to do the upcasting. After upcasting, after upcasting, then only you can perform downcasting. Otherwise, what will happen? Otherwise, it will throw runtime exception or runtime error, which is class cast exception. Which is class cast exception. Guys, we will give everything summary here. See now what we are discussed here. First, we have learned about what is meant by casting. Casting means converting from one data type to another data type.
Another
How many types of casting we have? Two
Two
types.
types.
First one is
two
data type
Data
casting,
type
and second one is
Reference type.
reference type
reference.
casting. Here, how many types we have again? Three types. We have divided into three types. First one is implicit casting, which is widening. Second one is explicit casting,
narrow.
narrowing, and the third one is boolean casting, which is not at all a casting. It will, boolean casting means it will not, we can't convert boolean to any other data type, so we can assign only boolean to boolean, so it will not support conversion. Okay, so implicit casting means converting from smaller size data type to higher size. This is implicit casting. Suppose if you are converting higher size to smaller size, this is called explicit casting and narrowing. Here what is the disadvantage? Loss of data.
Data.
Okay, now reference casting means, okay, converting one object converting one object reference to the another class object reference. To perform reference casting, what is required? The both the classes must be contain a relationship. Okay, in reference casting, how many types we have? Upcasting, okay, down casting. What is meant by upcasting? Whenever you are creating a child class object and assigning to the parent class reference, this is called upcasting. Okay, because on the hierarchical, whenever you are converting parent class reference to the child class object, that time it will call as downcasting. If you want to perform a downcasting, before that you have to perform a upcasting, then you have to perform a downcasting. Otherwise, it will throw a runtime error called as class cast exception. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.